Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrook Family Farm. Today has been eventful, to say the least. It's only actually like 9:30 in the morning when I'm filming this, and by about 8 o'clock in the morning I was ready to call it a day. So last night I couldn't sleep very well, which, I mean, must have been a squirrel. I was walking right alongside the woods and something, as soon as I said I couldn't sleep very well, something like jumped and startled me. But so last night I couldn't sleep very well, which isn't like a super duper huge deal. It sucks, but I've had insomnia since I was really little, like preschool age. So not super surprising or anything like that I couldn't sleep, but it was really weird because I kept like partially falling asleep, you know, that weird almost like meditative state where you're half awake, half asleep type of state. And while I was in that state, I kept like having these weird visions and dream type things of a snake. And like, if you've seen our video the other day, our short, there was actually a like almost 6 foot long black snake that was in our living room window on the outside of the window. That was on Sunday. And then I think it was yesterday I posted on our Facebook page that, no, it was the day before yesterday, that I had sat down to mow, or after mowing, and there was a snake trying to like slither up by the steps on our front porch, which is right by the living room window. The reason that the snake was in the living room window to begin with was because above the front porch is a roof type thing that is in terrible shape. We actually have a 4x4 helping hold it up because it's, you know, wanting to come down, and well, something we need to fix. But starlings had babies in there. They hatched out eggs in there. So the babies keep chirping and making all sorts of noise. So it's bringing out all the snakes. Our property was very neglected. We've only been here for, you know, a month and a half that it's been in our possession, and nothing was ever mowed or anything for like years prior to us coming here. So we already had assumed it was going to be a hot spot for snakes. So I've been trying to really keep everything mowed and maintained and low, so that way it reduces the snake presence. My wife Tracy is absolutely terrified of snakes. She hates them. Okay, so anyways, so I'm laying in bed last night and I keep like having these weird like dream type things, and I just like of snakes, like just so many snakes. Where we lived at years and years ago, there was tons of snakes because it was like a field that we were turning into a home site, and there was just, you would go walk through the grass and you'd, you know, find like 10 snakes in like 20 feet. Like it was insane. Like, I know I exaggerated some, but there was seriously a lot. Like you couldn't walk barefoot anywhere because there was just so many freaking snakes. Okay, so like that was like what I kept like seeing in my mind's eye this morning, in the wee hours of the morning. So I lay there for like 2.5 hours not being able to sleep, and all of a sudden I hear like this weird thud downstairs. I was like, huh, one of the dogs must have dropped a bone or something. I'm like, maybe I should go check. I'm like, nah, maybe I'll fall asleep. So I laid there for a while, and eventually our 4:30 in the morning alarm went off, and it was time for us to get up so Tracy could get ready for work. Well, we're coming down the steps, and I see our dog, our min pin, Sassy. She was acting all sorts of strange. Like, she's a strange dog to begin with, but she was like almost like rubbing her body all weird and stuff, but like not rubbing it on anything. Like, she acts like a cat, you know, like trying to rub her body on stuff, but there was literally nothing for her to rub her body on. And I told her, I was like, Sassy, you're such a freaking weirdo and stuff. And then she like stops and looks at me funny, and I'm like, what are you looking at? And I looked up, and like up and to the right, so like right above our front door, there was a massive black snake inside of the house. I was like, oh my god. You know, a lot of different choice words coming out of my mouth, but you know, try not to say those on camera. But I told Tracy, I was like, babe, there is a big snake in here. She's like, what? And it's like freaking out and like panicking on the steps. I'm like, it's okay, calm down. She's like, no, this is not okay. This is not okay. And I'm like, no, it literally is gonna be okay. Like, I'm going to get this snake out of here. Our living room, the previous owners had a chimney fire in the living room. It's set up so that way a wood burner could be there. But so there was a chimney fire at one point in time, so they tore down the ceiling. So there is not a ceiling in the living room. It's just like the floor joists and the wood floor for upstairs for our room. So it gave the snake plenty of access to, you know, finagle around. And the snake was very at like the top of the ceiling, basically, right up against the wall. So it was, I'm assuming that it was trying to, I don't even know. I'm assuming it was trying to figure out how to get to the bird's nest that is on the front porch. Because the birds are chirping very, very, very loudly all the time there. Because, you know, they're little baby birds and they're like, "Mama, feed me, Mama, feed me." But, you know, that's what birds do. But, so anyways, I am not afraid of snakes. I do not like snakes. Oh, I just seen a toad crawling and it just like startled me. I'm really jumpy today because I didn't get very much sleep. And also the snake incident. So I had to get up on the ladder and used a curtain rod to help me convince the snake that it should, you know, try to come out of the wall cavity without going up towards our room or anything. That would have been all over. Tracy would have been like, "That's it, I'm not sleeping here tonight." But yeah, so I got it out, got it outside, and I was like, I'm not afraid of snakes at all, okay? It's like, I do not like them. But when I was standing up on that ladder and it was like rearing up like, you know, like snakes do, because it felt very threatened by me trying to grab it. I mean, I would be too if I was the snake. I mean, I did wake it up while it was sleeping. Ain't nobody want to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And I woke it up at 4:30 in the morning just so that way I could take it away from where I thought it was going to get some dinner. So I could understand why he was a little cranky. But yeah, so I was like shaking on the ladder. Like I was like, as I was like trying to do it, because I've never actually picked up a big snake like that before. When I got the one out the living room window, I somehow hooked it on a stick and then just like flung it off of the porch. But this one I knew that I was going to have to actually like grab it, because if we, you know, since we're just still moving in, we have boxes of stuff all over the place. And I was like, man, if I drop this snake, if it falls onto the ground, like, it's going to be game over. Like, Tracy's never going to step foot in this house again if I cannot for sure get it out. So as it's like trying to fall from the curtain rod and stuff, I hurry up and grabbed it. I could not reach its head area. So I'm like running outside with it. And then eventually I was able to grab by its head. And when I did that, I was like so mad. Like my fear had all turned into anger after I touched the snake. And I like was squeezing it so hard, and I'm like, "Ah!" So then I'm like running down the driveway with this like 4-foot long black snake, and I'm like, "You are not allowed to come to my house. This is my house." Like I was like, sometimes I'm a little crazy. But so I got it out. Okay, I've been super trippy and paranoid all freaking day, especially when I'm in the living room, because I'm like just randomly like expecting it to like pop up again and stuff, to be like, "I'm back," you know, something crazy. But so anyway, so then that was all done. I tried to lay back down to calm myself down and to take a nap after Tracy left for work, you know, because I got like 3.5 hours less sleep than everybody else did. So I laid down, had our one dog with us, found a tick on her, so then I felt like I was all creepy crawly and stuff after I got that taken care of. Then it was time to get up, so got up, went to leave to take Willie to school, and as I was driving down our road, which here's the road, I happened to turn and look when I got to like the pine trees and noticed that in that rabbit tractor right there, yeah, not all the rabbits were inside of it. So I don't know what is in the air today, but yeah, I think it's just a chaotic day. I did get we turned around, we left early enough that I didn't make him late or anything. So we turned around and came and I grabbed the young rabbit and put it back inside. The rabbit tractor, they can sometimes get the feeder out. They will sometimes push it out if they ran out of feed and they decide that they don't want to wait for us to get up. So what they did was they, that feeder right there, they just pushed it out, and the two babies that are in there, they're small enough that they were able to fit through there. So yeah, got that back into place. And then after I took Willie to school, on my way back home, somebody pulled out in front of me, not like directly in front of me, but they were like going and turning like to go the opposite direction. They pulled off of a road, and after they turned onto the road, they decided they were going to drive in my freaking lane. Like I was like, what are you doing? So after they corrected it, I like motioned my hand like this, like, what is your problem? And then they flipped me off and I was like, cool. So it so far has been crazy and chaotic. And I really hope that that is all the excitement for today, because I ain't got much in me. So if you're enjoying this channel, please give my videos a thumbs up. Share my videos on social media. And if you have not already, please subscribe. Life has always been very crazy for us, so yeah, more crazy stuff is bound to happen, unfortunately. So yeah, alright, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.